Morning, Thumper. Hey guys, I'm dealing with an early bad migraine this morning, so we're just gonna get started. And I'm sorry if I sound like a sack of shit, honestly. Let's go. Good morning, degenerates, and welcome to another episode of Boring Crypto, a place where I read you the boring crypto news every morning, Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Why? Well, just so you don't have to. Guys, my name is Not Important. I'm your host. Let's do it. Trump to host first White House Crypto Summit, March 7th. President Trump says crypto reserve to include Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, XRP, ADA. This is why we pumped yesterday, guys. Biggest CME gap ever at 85K, which is what I was concerned about. With a rip like that during the weekend, we're going to look at it. 5 things to know in Bitcoin this week. We'll see what that says. I don't know if the article's going to be important or not, but the CME gap is kind of. And Ronaldinho, I don't know how to pronounce this dude's name, launches a token with 35% insider supply, hits $397 million market cap. Guys, the reason why I have this article pulled up is stop buying celebrity meme coins. This trend needs to die. They're literally just taking your money. That's it. And if you're buying this shit, excuse me for sounding like a complete asshole, but you deserve to have your money taken. I can't wait till this is not part of crypto anymore. Just saying. All right. I sound like such a Debbie Downer. Guys, I'm miserable, man. I've been dealing with these headaches and shit like this, and it's not going away, and doctors aren't helping. It's rough. But outside of that, guys, per usual, housekeeping. If you do enjoy the content I provide for you here every morning, please, by all means, like the video, share the video on all your social platforms. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and give me a follow. Tell your mom, tell your kids. Let's get everybody in crypto. On top of that, guys, if you want to learn how to trade crypto, want to get better at trading, staring at charts, etc., whether it be crypto or traditional market, guys, check out the link that is pinned in the comments. That'll take you to the paywall for the Pip Connect Discord. That is Andy Peters' personal Discord. That's where we are all spending time and learning this stuff and getting better at it and becoming financially savvy. Excuse me. And if that sounds like something you're interested in, go ahead and check it out. If you have any questions, by all means, reach out to Andy or myself, and we will do our best to get those questions answered for you. Outside of that, guys, what are we looking at right now? Right now, current market cap is back above 3 trillion, 3.05 trillion for the current overall market cap. Bitcoin dominates back up at 60.4. It did tick down a little bit yesterday. ETH looking like a bag of poo, 9.3% ETH dominance. And Gwei is lower than it ever has. 0.64 Gwei, which is that ETH transaction. Right now, Fear and Greed sitting at 39. We were down in the 10s last week. Don't forget that. Yeah. What does that mean, though? A lot of stuff is retraced back to where it was before the pump. So I don't know how I feel about that. So anyways, let's just get through that top 100, see what the biggest gainers are this morning after the pullback, after the pump. After the pump, after the pullback pump. The pump pullback. And we'll get on to the charts. I know that's why you guys are all here anyways. Right now, Bitcoin sitting up 8.4% on the day. XRP looking heavy with 17.57% to the upside. Got to a little over 3 yesterday, if I remember correctly. Solana 15.23% to the upside still. The big bell of the ball right now, though, guys, is going to be Cardano with Trump's announcement of a group, basically like an index strategic reserve. He included Solana, he included XRP, he included Cardano, which is way out of left field, but that's good for Cardano. If you've been following if you've been following me for a while, you know that I've been talking about that something needs to happen for Cardano, or I was very, very close to exiting my positions. Well, why, Nick? Why? Well, look, this market is heavily driven on narrative, on news, on speculation. And from what I know, there wasn't a lot of stuff going on in Cardano that would get the price moving. I even, like, from from what I know, the word on the street, and again, and what do I know? I can, you guys can find as much information as I can. I don't have like any insiders or anything like that. I just spent a lot of time looking for it. And what I've gathered, there wasn't any VCs that were excited about it. They weren't pumping money into it. There just wasn't big money behind Cardano. And unfortunately, in this space, to get your price to move, you need big money backing you. You need to be doing some groundbreaking things. And I'm not saying that Cardano isn't doing groundbreaking things, but there was just no excitement, right? So with Charles coming out, Charles Hoskinson, if you're familiar, he is one of the founders of Cardano. With Charles coming out, I think he spent the week at Mar-a-Lago, if I remember correctly. Don't quote me on that, but there was something said about that. And I think he got his foot in the door. Congratulations to the Cardano people. I have a significant bag, and I was very, very much considering exiting. I'm in profit, no big deal. And getting into another project. But kudos to Cardano, man. I'm stoked for him. So up right now, 50.84% on the day. It skyrocketed to almost like $1.30 from like 60%, or sorry, from 60 cents almost to like $1.30 if America. We'll look at the chart too when I get there, but yeah. Anyways, moving on. 12.6% the upside for Chainlink. Litecoin down actually 4% today. Wild. 11.64% for BitGet token. 13.75 for Ondo to the upside. 13.52 for Trump. 13.67 for Kronos. 11.36 for Render. 11.62 for FET upside. 10.29 for WorldCoin. 13.41 for IOTA. That Berachain is down today, which is interesting because it was ripping pretty hard last week. 14.77 to the downside. 11.33 to the upside for Jito. 15.26 for Dog with Hat. Guys, stay out of the memes. Come on. 14.09 to the upside for eGold. Onyx coin up 26.58%. Curved out up 15%. And Grass, what in the shit is Grass? Bringing in your 100 spot, up 4.24% on the day. All right, moving on to the charts, guys. Look at, see where we're at. What's really wild is we talked about this when we were going down this downtrend. While we were on this downtrend, we were talking about levels that we could lose, things like that. Good morning, D. And then we talked about the CME gap. And I drew this on here, guys, because I didn't even know what it was at. I just knew there was one down here. So we went and found it together. We drew it, and we pretty much filled this gap. And then what happens? Wild. Now, talking with Andy about this, right? If you're part of the Discord, you got a earful yesterday between Rick G and Andy in the Discord, in the Pip Connect Discord. Click on the link if you're interested. About what this could potentially have been. And the reality is here's what they were saying, and I agree with it. Look, there are a lot of big wig, traditional finance, banks, etc., that got in, let me hit the daily, that missed this. That missed this Trump pump. Now we're going, TradFi's in, BlackRock's in, blah, blah, blah. And they all bought up here, and they're all kind of pissed off that they bought up here. So what are we going to do? We missed this gap. We missed this price action. We're going to push the price down as hard as we can to see if we can get better positions. Okay? And they did. They pushed it as far as they could till they couldn't push it anymore because people started buying at these levels. You can only get to a certain point. You can only push it down so far, right? Think about it. They're trying to scare everyone out of the market. They're trying to get better positions. So then Trump's. Well, I guess I could call it Trump's because his son and himself both were talking about it yesterday. Then Trump comes in, makes his announcement about the EO that's coming down the pipeline that will include Solana, etc. Blah blah blah. Right. And banks aren't open on the weekend. This is what I'm getting at. Banks aren't open, so they don't want to lose their position because they sold out here to push the price down. So they are probably going to be scaling in heavily. Now, there's a possibility. I want you guys to see something. Here's that next CME gap. This is my concern right now. So what does that mean? Could they push this price back down to fill this gap? This is the biggest CME futures gap in the history of the Bitcoin CME. Look at that gap. Remember, these get filled about 96% of the time. So there's a strong possibility that if not today, in the near future, or maybe the bear market, which there will be one, guys. Don't lie to yourselves. There's going to be another bear market. Sometime these people are going to get these positions filled. Anyways, so what we're hoping is going to happen. Go back to the 1 hour. Oh, back to Bitcoin. Sorry, guys. What we're hoping is going to happen is that when the traditional market opens this morning, that these banks are going to be like, well, we don't want to lose our positions. We don't want to buy back in higher after, we push the price down so hard, that we can continue to have a catalyst to move the price to the upside. My concern, we couldn't reclaim 95. And if you've been following me for quite some time, you've known that I've said that 95 is a very, very significant level because it was support, 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 support. I'm not too stoked if we're flipping 95 into resistance. All right. We definitely need to reclaim it. We pulled back. We kind of bounced around this 90K, 91-ish area and getting a bounce there. That looks good. So again, right now, everybody's Trump. Sorry, there's so much going on right now. Trump has come out and said that tonight is going to be wild. Like he's going to say something tonight. There's going to be some press conference, some announcement. But then there's the White House Crypto Summit on March 7th. There's so much going on, and who knows what Trump's going to do. So everybody's just kind of waiting to see, but it might be a big nothing burger because it has been lately. So we'll see. Might be a sell the news, buy the rumor, sell the news event. Anyway, let's go ahead and look at ETH. ETH is looking like a bag of garbage. Damn near retraced all of its gains. Bouncing right here at 2342. We'll see. All right. Top of that, like I said, the bell of the ball right now, Cardano, barely holding on to 60K or 60 cents, not 60K. Jesus, Nick. Barely holding on to 60 cents. And then news. And this thing just ripped. But ripped right back into range over here. $1 seems to be a rough point for Cardano. We'll keep an eye on that. But new floor around 60 cents seems to be a strong point. Right? If you're looking for entries, why not set buy orders here just in case we retrace again? But we ripped up. Let's just look at it. Let's measure the move on Cardano. $84% in an hour and a half. $1.18. That's wild. When we pulled back, we went right back up to it, but now everything's kind of pulling back, which is unfortunate. Yeah, a lot of stuff has just completely eaten up their gains off of this announcement. What did XRP get up to? Yeah, XRP blew over $3. From the news, XRP ripped 36%. From $2.22 all the way up to $3.02. That is wild. That's awesome, though. So we'll see what happens, guys. Just Trump's doing some wild stuff. We'll see what he says. Looking like ugly ass lines. All these have to go. You're done. You're done. So again, just news catalyst, guys. We've been talking about for quite some time that Trump ran on Bitcoin strategic reserve, crypto, and got in office, and it just was crickets, right? And so we were saying is everybody's waiting for a news catalyst from Trump, for something to say something, and the longer he goes without saying anything, no news turns into bad news, right? And I think that's what we were kind of looking at in general. But now, with this statement, everybody's fired back up again. Bull runs back on in their mind, etc., etc. I wouldn't get too excited too fast. I think we'll be fine, but look, just play it smart. And then let's do this. Let's not repeat history. Let's not do what we did for the last 18 months and just ape into every piece of garbage meme there is on the planet, guys. Let's be smarter about this. The meme stuff is just, it's such a waste of your time and your money and of good technology in the space that I don't know, I guess I'm beating at a dead horse, but I think you get my point. Anyways, keep your guys' eye on 95K. It's very important that we get back above 95K. Outside of that, let's get on the news and let you guys go, and then I'm going back to bed because my head feels like it's going to pop. Trump to host first White House Crypto Summit on March 7th. President Trump will host the first White House Crypto Summit on March 7th, bringing together industry leaders to discuss regulation, stablecoins, and Bitcoin reserve legislation. U.S. President Donald Trump will host the first White House Crypto Summit on March 7th, bringing together industry leaders to discuss... I just read that. The attendees will include prominent founders, CEOs, and investors from the crypto industry, along with members of the president's working group on digital assets, according to an announcement shared by the White House. AI and crypto czar David Sachs in a March 1st X post. Good morning, guys. The summit will be chaired by Sachs and administered by Bo Hines, the executive director of working group. Sachs was appointed as White House Crypto as the AI and crypto czar on December 6th, 2024, to work on a legal framework so the crypto industry has the clarity it has been asking for and can thrive in the U.S. Trump wrote in an announcement. Part of Sachs' role will be to safeguard online speech and steer us away from big tech bias and censorship, Trump added. I'm not going to read that. You guys go read that stuff on X. It's just Trump's post about this stuff. Trump has previously signaled that he intends to make crypto policy a national priority and make the U.S. a global hub for blockchain innovation. The upcoming summit may set the tone for crypto regulations over the next 4 years. Sachs only has 2 years to push through pro-crypto policies before the 2026 midterm elections in the U.S. Joe Dole, the general counsel for NFT marketplace Magic Eden, told Cointelegraph in an interview. According to Dole, the threat of a gridlock government could stifle regulations, and the current administration must push through pro-crypto policies while still in control of both chambers of Congress, House and the Senate. Stablecoin Bitcoin reserve regulation remain focus. While there are no additional details about the summit's agenda, stablecoin regulation and legislation related to potential strategic Bitcoin reserve have been at the forefront of regulatory discussion in the U.S. The White House announcement came days after Jeremy Allaire, co-founder of Circle, the company behind the world's second largest stablecoin, USDC, if you're wondering, said that stablecoin issuers worldwide should be required to register with the U.S. Authorities. Citing consumer protection, Allaire argued that U.S. dollar-based stablecoin issuers should not get a free pass, enabling them to ignore U.S. law and go do whatever the hell you want, whenever, and sell it into the United States, Allaire told Bloomberg. Whether you're an offshore company or based in Hong Kong, if you want to offer your U.S. dollar stablecoin in the U.S., you should need to register it in the U.S., just like we have to go register it everywhere else. I agree with that. The upcoming summit may shed more light on upcoming stablecoin legislation, considering Sachs previously stated that stablecoins could extend the dollar's dominance internationally. Interest in U.S.-based strategic Bitcoin reserve is also on the rise so far. At least 24 states have... Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that wild? Anyways. So far, at least 24 states have introduced legislation related to a potential Bitcoin reserve. Bitcoin laws data shows. However, state-level Bitcoin reserve initiatives may not represent a pivotal moment for Bitcoin. They are only a symbolic move unless a significant purchase is announced, according to Ilya Kalchev, dispatch analyst at Nexo. Unless the hearing unveils a near-term purchase plan or a majority policy shift, the market's response will likely be mild. As Texas pro-crypto stance is already well known, Kalchev told Cointelegraph, Bitcoin has averaged over 1,077% returns over the past 5 years, showing the lucrative potential of a long-term holding strategy. All right, moving on. Any questions? No. Cool. All right. President Trump says crypto reserve to include Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, XRP, ADA. Let's go. The president's language surrounding a Bitcoin strategic reserve has shifted dramatically since his Bitcoin 2024 keynote address. United States President Donald Trump recently announced that the president's working group on digital assets has been directed to include XRP, Solana, Cardano, in the crypto strategic reserve. The president later added Bitcoin and ETH to the list of cryptocurrencies being included in the reserve in an appended post stating that they would be at the heart of the reserve. So the original one, right here, guys, this is what pumped the market. I'm going to read this. I usually don't read tweets, but here you go. A U.S. crypto reserve will elevate the this critical industry after years of corrupt attacks by Biden administration, which is why my executive order on digital assets directed by the Presidential Working Group to move forward on a crypto strategic reserve that includes XRP, SOL, and ADA. I will make sure the U.S. is the crypto capital of the world. We are making America great again. And amended slightly later. And obviously, Bitcoin and ETH and other valuable cryptocurrencies will be at the heart of the reserve. I also love Bitcoin and Ethereum. Good. That was like a save for sure. Trump previously promised to establish a strategic national Bitcoin stockpile at the Bitcoin 2024 conference in Nashville, Tennessee. Trump told the audience during his keynote speech, "It will be the policy of my administration, the United States of America, to keep 100% of all the Bitcoin the government currently holds or acquires into the future. We will keep 100%. I hope you do well, at least. This will serve in effect as the core of the strategic national Bitcoin stockpile," the president continued. The U.S. president's language on a Bitcoin strategic stockpile has shifted following his January 23rd executive order directing a group to establish a digital asset stockpile, which angered Bitcoin maximalists. Look, everything angers Bitcoin maxis. And I get it. I've been here long enough to understand your reasoning behind it. But it's a fool's game, in my opinion, to think that Bitcoin is the only thing that matters when it comes to blockchain technology. Think if that is all you focus on is Bitcoin when it comes to blockchain technology, it kind of tells me you don't really understand the technology itself. You don't understand smart contracts. You don't understand peer-to-peer movement. And again, who the hell am I? But you're taking an old tech, and I understand the idea that nothing controls it. There's no corporation, whatever. But the technology itself is old school, slow and clunky. Bitcoin's never going to, listen to me, guys, Bitcoin's never going to be used for peer-to-peer transactions. It's not. Who would want to do that? I think there's a meme or a bullshit commercial out there where someone goes to pay for something using Bitcoin, and there's like people behind him and they're yelling at him, and they're like, well, hold on, I'm just waiting for the transaction to go through. Hold on, I'm just waiting for the transaction to go through. Mind you, is it better than wiring money? Absolutely. But when it comes to peer-to-peer transaction, Bitcoin ain't the guy. It's more suited, and I know that's when it was created at its inception, that was the idea, and I completely understand that. But 13 years later, 14 years later, the technology has advanced significantly. It's it's become what it needed to be, in my opinion. A store of value, a hedge against inflation isn't the right word, but a hedge against a fiat system, if that makes sense, right? To where you could put your money or your value, your wealth into something that isn't going to devalue over time. Okay? Think about it this way, and I hate to use gold as a comparison to Bitcoin, but it's the only thing that really kind of makes sense. Think about it this way. So let's say the dollar disappeared, went to shit, and everybody flocked to gold, which would make sense. But how are you transacting in gold, right? Are you cutting off chunks of gold blocks and handing to people? No. No, you're probably going to transact in silver. Wild, isn't it? You're going to hold your gold as big, giant chunks of your wealth. And then when you want to transact, you will probably transfer one gold bar into a shit ton of silver to where then you can go transact. It's more liquid. It's easier to move around. You're not going to go buy something for $1 with a piece of gold, right? Same thing comes with Bitcoin. And I'm rambling right now, but I'm kind of just giving you guys a technology lesson in this stuff. Bitcoin is Bitcoin. It's clunky. It's slow. And that's fine. It'll do exactly Bitcoin to the moon. I'm not saying it's not going to the moon, Andy. Only if you're... Listen, Andy says, Bitcoin to the moon. There goes your ears with the ding ding. What does that mean? No, you can. You can buy a gold card and break off tabs. Only if you're a G. And I still left my beer at your house. Yes. I did leave my beer at your house. No, all I'm saying, bro, you're the one who was pushing me on silver for that whole reason too. Most people, it's just more liquid. Anyway... I'm not going to be a guy that sits here and it just turns into a Bitcoin maxi. I never will. There's more technology. Technology continues to advance, and I think Bitcoin is becoming what it needs to be, which is awesome. I'm all for it. The one thing I don't do is sell my Bitcoin. Wild. Yeah. I don't know. I kind of lost my train of thought. I'm dealing with, like I said, guys, I'm dealing with a really bad migraine, so I don't even know what I was talking about. What the hell was I talking about? Andy, you distracted the shit out of me, bro. Anyway, let's get on to the article. I'm sorry, guys. Trump signs executive order, but it wasn't what Bitcoin maximalists expected. Just don't be a maxi. Let's just be open a little bit more. President Trump signed executive order directing the work group on digital assets to study the feasibility of a national crypto reserve and to explore regulatory framework for stablecoins. The executive order also banned the research and development of a central bank digital currency, a CBDC if you're unaware, in the United States, following a January 23rd Bitcoin maximalists Bitcoin maximalists vented their frustration with the vague language of the order and the potential inclusion of other digital assets in the reserve. I say just be patient, guys. If you're in this group and you're freaking out every time they say something that doesn't like make you excited, just be patient. Raise your hand if you think Donald Trump should make the national digital asset stockpile Bitcoin only. Walker, host of the Bitcoin podcast, wrote on X. Wild. The Bitcoin podcast. Sorry, I was going to talk some shit, but I'm not going to. Pierre Ricard, I'm sorry, I'm so distracted. Guys, my head is falling apart while I'm like, it's hard to even look at the screen. Pierre Ricard, the vice president of research at mining company Riot Platforms, also called out the language of the executive order, which deviated from President Trump's earlier promise to Bitcoiners. President Trump will host the first White House Crypto Summit on March 7th, which will be this week, y'all, to discuss the future of crypto regulatory policy in the United States with industry executives and the Digital Asset Working Group. Moving on. Any questions? I swear. Okay, so we got Z over in YouTube. It says, I swear if the XRP lawsuit isn't talked about, I'm going to throw my chair. XRP on the reserve list. Come on now. No, I agree. They even, like, if you guys have been, does anyone in here know who Richard Hart is or what Hex or Pulse chain is? There's a lot of, there's a lot of, conspiracy isn't what I'm looking for, but there's a lot of debate on whether or not Pulse and Hex are scams. And Richard Hart is a very elusive, interesting character that is very wealthy and made a lot of money off of his coins, but his coins seem to kind of just not really do much. And he says they're better than Bitcoin and Ethereum. And there's no one knows. The biggest issue with them, or one of the biggest issues with the project, is that no one knows what the supply is. There's nothing anywhere that will tell you what the Hex or Pulse chain supply is. My point, during the last administration, the SEC came after him with a lawsuit, which literally last week, they walked away from their lawsuit against Richard Hart. But yet they still haven't said they're going to walk away from the lawsuit with XRP, which is absolutely bananas, Z. Yeah. So I'm in the same boat. I'm like, when XRP, no one gives a shit about Hex or Pulse. No one gives a shit about Richard Hart. When XRP, why are they still hanging into that so hard? I don't know. I'm not smart enough to figure it out. All right. Biggest CME gap ever at 85K. 5 things to know in Bitcoin this week. Bitcoin enjoys a major Trump pump, quote unquote, but traders warn that fresh Bitcoin price support retests are still a risk ahead of this week's key White House Crypto Summit. And I agree with that. We need 95K, and now we've got a giant gap underneath us. Bitcoin is back with a vengeance this week as U.S. President Donald Trump appears to confirm strategic crypto reserve. Bitcoin price action abandons its slump to seal a $10,000 daily green candle and a giant CME futures gap. Trump champions the reserve in advance of the first White House Crypto Summit, promising, quote-unquote, more to come. A big week of U.S. employment data will culminate in Fed Chair Jerome Powell speaking on Crypto Summit Day. Bitcoin market indicators are showing signs of recovery, including solid rebound in on-chain profitability. Not this morning. Everything's kind of retraced back to where it was. At least the lower cap on-chain project. Sentiment remains fearful as traders digest the largest developments. It is too soon to believe in a bull market comeback? Question mark. Bitcoin traders warn of fresh Bitcoin price dip. Bitcoin price action is at a center of attention, but already not for the same reasons as last week. This is written really weird. Amid the U.S. crypto reserve reaction, multi-month lows have given way to a solid rebound, which at one point topped 20%. On some markets, Bitcoin USD even delivered a $10,000 daily candle. Data from Cointelegraph Markets Pro and TradingView shows. What's it show on Bybit? Or Bitstamp, excuse me. I always do that. Curious. So 85. Shit, to 95, yeah. I mean, it's got wicks, but yeah, that's a $10,000 candle. Wahoo. All right. Is anything important in here? No, it's just showing the gap, which I showed you guys earlier. Which, if you're new, or not new, if you came in late, guys, this is our gap. It's the largest Bitcoin CME gap in history. And it's wild. Again, these fill about 96% of the time. All right, that's it. And this is the last one, guys, and I'm gonna let you go, and I've gotta go lay down. This soccer player, I don't watch soccer. I'm sorry. Launched a meme coin. What's it say? Current watchers follow latest already endorsed meme coin. Blah blah blah. Guys, just stay away from this stuff. Understand this. Unless you're an insider, you ain't gonna make any real money in memes anymore. They know what they're doing. Guys, it's a grab. It's a money grab. That's all it is. Dude, he holds 20% of the supply himself. If this isn't a money grab, I don't know what is, bro. Stay away from this shit. If you really want to make money, learn how to trade. Listen to me. You want to learn how to make money? Seriously? Like, all bullshit aside, guys, join the Discord. Stop throwing your damn money into memes and hoping and praying with your fingers crossed for a damn lottery ticket to hit off. Join us. Join something. Be part of a community and learn how to trade. How to really look at a chart and understand what you're doing. So you don't have to look at this dumb shit anymore and be like, oh, I hope I can make some money on something. Well, these guys clean up. What it hit? A $400 million market cap. That means people dumped $400 million into this thing. What's it at right now? Let's look. Star 10 on BNB. Jesus Christ. Hold on. I want to see a dollar value. Yeah, this ain't it. This ain't real. Hold up. That's just showing the market cap data. Maybe that is it. What's it showing? What was I looking at? Let me see if I can find it. I'm really curious now, right? I'm really curious to see what this thing has done so far. Oh, shit. There you go, guys. There's your memes. There is your celebrity memes. I mean, what, like... Absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. Sorry, I'm so tired of this stuff. Like, started here. These are the only people that are making money, and the only people that really have money are the people that are, like I'm telling you guys, the guys that get in this early that know what's going to happen. How many of these have worked? Hawk Tuah, even Trump. Like, guys, let's be real. Trump was a liquidity grab, y'all. That was for money. They made it. Not saying he's not going to do anything with it in the future, but I don't know, man. Celebrity memes, guys. It's lottery tickets. Learn how to trade. You want to learn how to trade? Join the Pip Connect. Andy will teach you how to trade. Rick G will teach you how to trade. I'll do my best to teach you how to trade because I'm not the best. Again, I'm always learning too, man. There's a community of people that are willing to help you learn this stuff so you don't have to be a slave to this garbage. And if that bothers you, I'm sorry. I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. I got some throwing fuel in the fire, Lodi. I didn't know about that. Yeah. Yeah, it's Z. This is just fucking. It's bullshit. It's fun to play with, you know, like if you throw like $100 at it, things like that. But don't expect these things to change your life financially. Think about it. This thing dropped at 2:30 a.m. ripped up, and then within 30 minutes, we'll say it, we'll give it an hour and a half. Within an hour and a half, completely tanked. Yep, that's it. All right, anyways, guys, that's all I've got for you this morning. I feel like a bag of garbage. I'm going to go back to bed. Let's look at Bitcoin one more last time before we get out of here. That's good. We're going back up. Woohoo! Let's see if ETH is moving. ETH is bouncing hard, right? At this 23.42. Good. Let's see what happens. Cardano back over $1. XRP ripping at 271. Let's go. What does US 30 look like? US 30 is pulling back at the pre-open. Look for a bounce at 43.782. This is some nasty chop. This is interesting. It's such weird price action. I question Andy all the time about US 30. I'm still trying to understand it. Still trying to see how she moves. Still trying to understand her. But we got a broadening wedge here. Megaphone pattern, if you want to call it that. Does that matter? Probably not. Getting rejected. That's 43.968. We'll just call it 44-ish. Wick would be 44. See if you get that bounce. If it comes down to 43.782 entry point. That's what I would do. Somewhere in there. Somewhere in these wicks. Definitely a long position down here, but yeah. All right, guys. That's all I've got for you this morning. If you do enjoy the content I provide for you here every morning on Boring Crypto, guys, by all means, please like the video. Share the video on all your social platforms. Tell your friends, tell your wives, tell your kids. Let's get everybody in here. If you're watching me on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. And if you're on Facebook, go ahead and follow me. And per usual, if you want to learn how to trade, get better at trading, be part of a community that will help you become financially savvy, guys, check out the pinned link in the comment section. That'll take you to the Pip Connect Discord. That is the Andy Peters personal Discord. If you have any questions, again, by all means, reach out to myself or Andy. We'll do our best to get those questions answered for you. And outside of that, I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning, hopefully feeling better. I am out of here.